Hello everyone and welcome back to the Jambar News Magazine. I'm Matt Sotler, and as always, if you don't know me, you do now. Homecoming is finally here, and YSU has a slate of amazing activities for both students and the community. Here's our Jambar reporter Annabelle Boone with more.
Homecoming is a time of celebration and connection on campus, with activities all week leading up to the big game.
One of the main attractions for everyone is typically the parade. The parade is set for Saturday, but preparation had begun long before that.
Growing up, I've always came with my family to go watch the homecoming parade, so actually contributing to it and being a part of it, it really means a lot to me.
Hao is the director of activities for Zeta Tau Alpha. She's in charge of planning and organizing their float for homecoming, which is a joint project between them and Theta Chi.
There's a lot of manual labor, like it does take a lot of time. Right now we are pomping, which is like stuffing like tissue paper through holes and things like that. So it's very time consuming. About like a foot takes maybe 2 hours.
Homecoming is the time of year where students celebrate being together, whether it's building floats or participating around campus. Lucas Albright, secretary for Theta Chi fraternity, spoke about the campus community surrounding homecoming.
I love when the whole school comes together, things like football games, fall fire fest, these kinds of fun moments that really it's what college is all about, That's why you come to a place like YSU, is for this feeling of community, and I'm super excited to be a part of it.
You can catch Zeta Tau Alpha and Theta Chi, amongst other organizations, here this Saturday.
Are you an honors student looking for volunteer hours? Well, there's a program on campus that's all about connecting with the younger generation. Sydney Fairbanks has more on this great opportunity.
Taking classes at YSU is just a small part of Livia Laudermilt's path to becoming an educator.
So I'm going to be a teacher, so working with students is something I've always wanted to do.
She aims to get work experience outside the classroom. That's why she spends hours each week writing to local elementary school students.
We partner with local schools and we encourage literacy skills as well as fostering relationships with the YSU students and local elementary students.
It's all part of the Dr. Rashid Abdu Pen Pals program. Honor students write in journals that are passed to the kids twice a month. The kids write back, sometimes with their own illustrations.
When they write to the students, they kind of just say, what's going on in your week? What's your favorite color? What are things that you like?
The program was founded in 2012 by retired surgeon Dr. Rashid Abdu. It began with 40 fourth graders at Harding Elementary. It now has over 300 students across Harding, Girard, and Liberty.
The teachers, they were reporting that students, their spelling was better. They were reading better. Their absenteeism was lowered. And they would get so excited when they would get to hear from their pen pal.
For many honor students, being a pen pal is an opportunity to be a mentor.
Lots of people will build a really good relationship with their student. Many YSU students say it's a really nice study break, say it's the highlight of their week sometimes. Because little kids, you never know what they're going to write, so it's always very amusing.
Any honor students interested in joining the Pen Pal program can email Laudermilt. Reporting for the Jambar, I'm Sydney Fairbanks.
The Skeggs Lecture Series was founded in 1966, and tickets to lectures are free. Our Madison Fessler sat down with one of the speakers.
Internet science guy Hank Green kicked off the 24-25 Skeggs Lecture Series here at Stambaugh Auditorium on September 26th. I had the opportunity to sit down and ask him a couple of questions. Green's lecture focused on the internet and how we communicate through social media. How did you kind of whittle that down into talking about social media and the control of it?
It feels like the most important thing going on right now. I mean, there's a lot always going on. It is actually kind of my true area of expertise. Like most stuff, I am almost intentionally a dilettante about it, even my actual science education, how media is changing and how people who create content and people who consume content and the platforms that host that content are all interacting to create kind of a new world that we don't understand, and we don't know what it's going to be yet. We're still figuring it out.
Green started his internet career because of his older brother John. His obsession with subculture played into his start as well.
Cultures inside of them, new genres being created, new communities being created, and I just like love to just get my fingers into that. It's so interesting.
Creating educational content wasn't the first choice for the Green brothers. The decision came after receiving grant money from YouTube.
We actually got an opportunity to get grant money from YouTube to make higher quality content because they wanted to sort of level up. This was back in 2010. And so we sort of had to talk about like what would we create if we were going to make higher quality content and get some of this YouTube money, and educational, like informational stuff seemed the thing to do because we were better at it than a lot of other creators. It was hard, so we needed resources to do it.
Students had the opportunity to ask Green questions before his lecture. He said being influential to younger generations pressures him. Do you feel kind of a pressure to not perform, but to teach?
I feel a pressure to be a good person, which is good. Like, it's good to be a good person. My like biggest fear is ruining myself for people, like having some, like making some mistake or having some opinion where people are like, oh, I thought he was a good one. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll be right back to the Jambar News Magazine right after these brief commercials.
All right, so who knows why?
I know why. For starters, I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. Can you say that? Engineering, sports, music, business. I can do anything here. I'm getting my hands dirty, learning what my friends are only reading about. I'm part of something bigger here. I'm proud to bleed red and black. So yeah, I know why. It's not a question, it's the answer. Youngstown State University, know why.
The Ward Beecher Planetarium is back and better than ever. It was closed after a fire last year, but just had a grand reopening. Jambar reporter Molly Burke has the story.
Ever since I can remember, I have loved space.
Senior Aubrey Peterson-Spinard has been a student employee at the planetarium since August 2021. She developed her love for stars at a young age.
I actually have a vision impairment, and so this wasn't the best idea, but when I was a kid, I would look up at the sky and I would try to say, oh, my vision must be getting better because I can see 3 more stars than 3 nights ago or something like that.
When the planetarium caught fire on January 8th, 2023, it meant putting a pause on her passion.
That was really, really rough. Again, especially as someone who wants to go into this field as a full-time profession.
There was a noon class of 90 in the planetarium and crews were working on the roof when a blowtorch caught it on fire.
And I would just started crying. I was like, oh my gosh, no, this can't be happening.
It was the first day of the semester and the beginning of 20 months without classes, shows, or Star Talks.
To get the fire out, they literally peeled back our ceiling like a sardine can on the outside.
While there was minimal fire damage, planetarium engineer Kurt Spivey says hundreds of gallons of water damaged lights, telescopes, and worst of all, the dome.
Basically, when the fire department hit that with the water, it turned the entire dome into a giant sprinkler head that sprayed all over the room.
It took over a year for the $1.5 million construction project to begin, but the planetarium is now better than ever. It has a new dome, Chronos star projector, sound system, and lighting.
It's one of the largest, most updated planetariums in a college university 4 hours away from here, including places that are much bigger than us. So this is a very special place.
Students were able to start fall astronomy classes back in the planetarium, and hundreds of people came out to its grand reopening shows October 4th and 5th.
The shows, the uniqueness of the shows. If you've never seen one, you got to come see it and believe it. With the equipment that's there, the projector, the dome, the technology that we have right now will take you to a different world. It's just what it is. See it equals believe in it.
October's featured show is a blast from the past.
It's the 50th anniversary of our Halloween show. Began in 1974. We do full dome video. Our Cove light system is fully programmable. We make the lights dance live to the music.
During the 20 months without the planetarium, staff hosted shows on Facebook Live to keep engaging with the community. Peterson Spinard hosted a few online shows of her own, but she's excited to be working under the stars again.
I cannot stop smiling, talking about this place. It's everything to me, and I don't want to leave.
You can check out the planetarium's full program online or pick up a brochure in Ward Beecher. It's free, but donations are welcome. Reporting for the Jambar, I'm Molly Burke.
Executive producer Raeghan Hilton also sat down with Ally Wright to discover more about what Penguin Productions has in store this year.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Jambar News Magazine interview. I am sitting here with Ally Wright today. Ally, can you tell me a little bit about the position that you hold within Penguin Productions?
Yeah, absolutely. So this year for Fall Fire Fest, I was voted again for event lead. So I am overseeing the whole Penguin Productions group.
Awesome, very nice. So now I know that when this interview comes up, Fall Fire Fest will have already passed, but we're sitting here before Fall Fire Fest has taken place. So can you kind of walk me through maybe, especially week of the event, what do you guys have going on this week? I know it's probably really hectic.
Yes, it is crazy. Event week is always just the most. We have been getting stuff ready today. We've been preparing all of the activities that we're doing, all of the decorations we need to get ready. Tomorrow, everything's going to be dropped off. Thursday morning, all of the tents and the stages are going to be placed. So it's very hectic and a lot, but we really try to make everybody, happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, can you tell me a little bit too, like as a student here, day of, do you have classes going on? Like what else do you have? How do you balance all of that? I feel like I'd be stressed out.
So I actually work on campus and go full time here, and I am the event lead of Penguin Productions. Event day this week, I will have a 2.5-hour lab. And I will be working in the morning at my on-campus job.
Very nice.
In addition to doing that, I find little spaces in time. Like I have 30 minutes after my class, before work. I can fit in there and I can do as much as I can possibly do for the group.
Yeah. And is there anything, maybe some big changes we can expect this year? I know, like I said, people have already seen it, but what are you kind of excited about moving forward?
I am very excited about the new aspects that we bring into each event. I feel like every year that we bring a little something more to each event, and this year specifically, Build a Penguin, we are bringing to Fall Fire Fest.
Awesome.
Because it's such a beloved Youngstown tradition.
Absolutely. And now obviously Fall Fire Fest is what's happening right now this semester, but looking to next semester, your big event each year is Federal Frenzy.
Yes.
So I know we chatted a little bit before this. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about how preparation looks for that? Like I know you mentioned maybe you start like in the summertime for that?
Yeah, absolutely. We start looking at information and bands for Federal Frenzy during summertime. We go from the whole summer, we're like Federal Frenzy, and then school starts, Fall Fire Fest. As soon as Fall Fire Fest is over, we resume our Federal Frenzy because it's such a big event that we need to really focus and nail everything down.
Absolutely. And what does that look like too when do you kind of look for student feedback when it comes to finding bands, different vendors and stuff? Like what does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. Our biggest goal is to make the Youngstown State community happy, and we try and add all that we can to make it better. We add as many food trucks as we can. The bands that we pick, we really try to keep Youngstown alum and Youngstown local people on the schedule because we feel like it's really important to stay true to home.
Absolutely. And I do love that aspect of Federal Frenzy being very much a community-driven event.
Yes.
But yeah, I thank you so much, first of all, for sitting down with me. I cannot wait for Fall Fire Fest and Federal Frenzy. I know it's always such a highlight of YSU students and just events for the community. But yeah, that's all we have for the interview today for the Jambar News Magazine. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Penguin Productions, what a fantastic program. Unfortunately, that's all the stories we have this week for the Jambar News Magazine. But of course, tune in next time. And as always, I'm Matt Soller, and if you don't know me, you do now.